things they do is unwrap cell phones protected in plastic. They want to call their relatives to let them know they didn't drown. Ahmed Dawson and his wife and son left Syria just 6 days ago. Where are you hoping to go?
Germany.
Why Germany?
His nephew is there.
So this is your son? Do you hope he gets a new life in Germany?
We hope a better life for him and to never suffer like his father. All the smarts from the bomb.
Boom, 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 boom.
The barrel.
Barrel bombs. Yeah. So you feel safe now?
Thanks God. He just kissed the ground.
In the hour and a half we were on this stony stretch of beach, 15 dinghies arrived, and elsewhere on the island there were plenty more. Some 4,000 people land here each day. Nearly 3/4 are Syrian. And they don't stay on the beach very long.
They have an internal clock, and they are desperate to get to Europe as quickly as possible.
Kurt Day is the emergency field director for the International Rescue Committee on Lesbos.
What they leave behind first and foremost is the life jackets.
This is the kind of thing a child wears in a swimming pool. It's not what you wear crossing an ocean.
No, and it says right here, not for use in boating. And I think our main concern is that you're going to continue to have high numbers of refugees coming. And I think, unfortunately, what we're going to have is more capsized boats and more drownings, because this is not going to save anyone's life.
While we were on Lesbos, 4 people who drowned and washed ashore were buried. No one knew their names. More than 3,000 people have drowned trying to reach Europe so far this year. Engines often fail and overcrowded boats capsize. That's how this 3-year-old Syrian boy, Aylan Kurdi, drowned in September. After these photographs of his body on a Turkish beach were seen around the world, volunteers started showing up on Lesbos to help new arrivals make it on shore. But for months, it's been private aid groups like the International Rescue Committee doing what the Greek government, hobbled by its own economic crisis, was not able to do. Governments aren't giving you money.
No, and it's as if there's been an attrition strategy put in place. Make it as difficult for people to come, make them risk their lives, make them live in unsanitary conditions, and fewer people will come. And nothing could be farther from the truth.
Who were the people who were coming?
In the beginning, it was mostly Syrians, and mostly they were men. And everybody was saying, they're all young men, where's the families? Over the course of the past 3 months, we've had a higher percentage of women and children come. Male members of families went first to see that it was safe and to get settled into Europe, and then are calling for their families to come.
Syrians and others have to get fingerprinted and registered before they can leave Lesbos. The process used to take up to a week. Now it's so fast that when we went to the port, where a ferry departs daily for Athens, we were surprised to see Ahmed Dawson and his little boy. Just 10 hours after arriving on the island, they had their ferry tickets and were ready to leave. So you got registered?
Yeah, you got the ticket.
Oh, you got the ticket, okay. Their journey won't be easy. The route to Germany keeps changing as borders open and close along the way and greater controls are put in place. From Greece, most now travel through Macedonia, then Serbia, Croatia, Slovenia, then on through Austria. At Austria's border with Germany, we found hundreds sleeping in tents waiting to be allowed to cross. German authorities had just slowed down the entrance process. Only a handful at a time were being allowed in. Not far away at Salzburg Central train station, hundreds more waited in an underground garage.
The maximum capacity here in the shelter is 800, but we had nights where we had 1,300 here.
Heinz Schaden is mayor of Salzburg. He has no idea each day how many people he'll have to find shelter for. Do you get advance notice when Germany decides
to slow the number of people coming through?
I don't get advance notice, but I notice right away.
Can you even imagine what would happen if Germany closed its borders?
I don't want to imagine that, because then we have a situation which will be a humanitarian catastrophe.
Do you worry about security? Do you really know who a lot of these people are, where they're really from?
I'm not worried about security, and if a terrorist really wants to come to our country or to Germany or anywhere in Europe, they find their ways. They don't need the refugees, and they certainly do not march along with the refugees all the way from Turkey through southern Europe.
When a train for Germany is expected, many who've waited for days rush to line up, hoping their chance has finally come. But while we were there, just one train left Salzburg for Germany. On board, we found Mohammed Pathlabeh and his mother. They left Baghdad 2 weeks ago.
Do you know much about Germany?
Germany? No.
What do you think it's going to be like?
I think better than anything.
Better than anything. What are you most looking forward to?
I just want to have a good life, like with my mother, in peace.
It was Oktoberfest when we got to Munich. There was music and bratwurst and plenty of beer. A culture shock for anyone, but for Muslims from a war zone, it must seem especially strange.
Do they have a real sense of what life in Germany is going to be like?
I often hear Germany is a Jannah, and a Jannah is an Arabic word for paradise. And obviously that is not the case.
The streets are paved with gold.
Yeah. Mit 600 Euro.
Katerina El-Masri runs Save Me Munich, which helps new arrivals learn to adjust to life in Germany.
They think it'll be easy to find a job, find housing.
Sure. But the relatives who are already in Germany, they would call home and tell them, oh, it is amazing here, I'm having a good life, I'm very successful. Obviously, in most cases, that is not true.
More than 500,000 new arrivals have already crossed into Germany in the last 9 months. The German government expects 500,000 more by the end of the year. They're placed in shelters throughout the country where they have to wait for months to be granted asylum.
Kennt den FC Bayern, war schon da.
If they are, they get free language classes, full government benefits, and can start looking for a job.
And what are the biggest challenges?
The biggest challenge definitely is to find housing. At the moment, we're having such a huge influx that the community shelters are completely overcrowded. People are sharing rooms with 5, 6, 7 other men, There is no space for privacy.
In Berlin, fights have erupted as frustrated asylum seekers wait days in lines in order to register. And smaller cities are struggling to find shelter for so many people. Wolfgang Panzer, the mayor of Unterhaching, a town of 24,000, has been told to expect at least 1,000 new arrivals. He says he welcomes them, but for now can only put them in temporary shelters like this.
So do you have other spaces if more people come?
No. Then that's our problem. We have no spaces.
Is Germany being asked to do too much compared to the rest of Europe?
Aus meiner Sicht, ja.
From my point of view, yes, especially when it comes to the amount of people.
Das, was von der
What our government did is what led to all these masses coming to us.
Many Germans now agree. Chancellor Angela Merkel's approval rating has dropped. While Germany, with its aging population, needs new workers, absorbing so many so fast is a $6 billion burden with no end in sight.
A lot of people don't want them here.
They would say, yes, we have to take them in, we have to integrate them, but please not in my neighborhood, And that is not because these people are racist. This is often that idea stems from the fear of the unknown, Okay.
One of the Syrians, Katerina El-Masri, is trying to help is Bassam Al-Tarifi, a doctor who's been in a shelter in Munich since August. He gets about $160 a month from the German government. It'll take him months to get asylum and it could take him more than a year to be allowed to bring his wife and 5 daughters from Turkey.
So it's much harder than you had realized.
When it became a year and a half, that was something I did not expect at all.
Dr. Bassam is desperately lonely, but won't allow his family to take the dangerous journey by boat as he did.
I might risk my own life for my children, but there's no way I could risk my children's lives.
The number of new arrivals may drop in the next few months because crossing by sea in winter is especially dangerous. But come spring, a new wave of asylum seekers is once again expected to wash up on Lesbos' shores.